so extra, but I know I'm the same. Love me in spite of my trauma. Give me what I need instead of the drama. Cause when it pop off, it's like, oh my, all good all day, but the night we be going so hard on the flip side. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. But you'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night. Now all of my calls go to voicemail. I block you so I don't raise hell. Should've talked through it in detail. Our separate ways ain't gon' end well, no. But when we get back, it's like, oh my, all bad all day, but the night get that good till we act right. So tell me what we on a day, babe. I could keep that same energy. When you go low, I go low too. You'd rather stay high, I know you. Can we stay high, babe? I'd rather be on that wave, tryna control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we could share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could do it all night. We could go all night, all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead. We could go all night.
I've been calm, cool, collected, but you pushing on my nerves. And I know in your attention, I'm under pressure. Okay, I'm admitting that a couple things I said got acidic in the tone. In the presence, I get careless. Long as you know I come with imperfections. When you look at me, you see the soul through my flesh. You something special. Know you looking bomb, the way you dress it, gone, flex it, hold it still and let my mind digest. You got the leverage, you got the upper handle on the situation. You worthy of a million more of the storms that we weather. We fight retreating different, but you trying to kill the cycle. When nobody's stressing that body like me, I know the way you like it. I treat you like a queen, run the castle, you a treasure. Feel like you setting fire to my desire for the pleasure. You a gem, got me blameless, make amends, know you can, I'm out here.
Trying to control our emotions. If we on the right side of passion, we can share love in the ocean. But if you wanna go insane either way, baby, we could go all night. We could go all night. We could go all night. Do we heal, do we bleed? I'ma follow your lead, but we could go all night.
NationIvy.com. Mr. Ivy know the show must go on. And far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cop squats in, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like them Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the templates, let's be about it. Who got the info by the AM? Jono be the rapper, got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the Brits at, Cincinnati Reds at. One time where my people at. Team NI, where my people at? It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time, where my people at? Team NI, where my people at?
Oh, what a beautiful week, man. This is a great way to start the week. It is beautiful. Man, if you live in the city of Cincinnati, you look outside, you can see that great weather. It's raining in the city of Cincinnati. Typically, it's a lot more light outside, but Mother Nature is doing her thing. It's a beautiful process to watch. Good morning to you. Now, listen, no matter where you might be in the World Wide Web, you have chosen to spend some time with me this morning, and I appreciate it. Good morning to you. I appreciate it. Good morning. Come on in. Come on in. Good morning. Welcome back to your morning destination for what I hope will be some interesting conversation. You never can tell. Every show is different. The whole secret of a successful life is to find out what is one's destiny to do and then do it. And in that sense, I bid you, as we start off a new week, I bid you a couple things. I hope you fail this week. I hope you fail multiple times this week. Yes, I'll say it again. I hope each and every one of you that's striving towards something, I hope you fail this week. Yeah, because the road towards success is paved with failure. You got to fail so you can figure out how to do it right. It's one of the best things that can happen to you. Good morning to you. For people that have the Constitution that's built a certain way, you understand what I'm saying. Good morning to you. And I hope that you find out what your destiny is and what you were born to do. What's your role in this crazy universe? Good morning. Welcome back. No matter who you are or where you are or what you're doing, just know this. I got your back in whatever you got going on. As long as it's something positive, as long as you're on that journey of self-discovery, enlightenment, or whatever your goal may be, I wish you the best. Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and I'll say it again. Good morning. How are you? How was your weekend? Man, we got so much to talk about this morning. We're going to run out of time. We're going to run out of time, my friends. I don't have enough time to put everything into the show. But give it up for coming up this week and over the weekend. Cincinnati is going to be the center on some levels of for Black culture throughout the United States. Yeah, because you got the Music Fest in conjunction with the so-called Black Taste of Cincinnati. Shout out to J. Raj. And then you've also got Black Tech Week. Yes. Come on in. Come on in. You're going to have people, hundreds, if not thousands of people around the world and around the country who are into tech and who are Black in the city of Cincinnati. I told you, I will say this again, folks. I've been saying this for years and I'll say it again. Cincinnati is on the rise. We are rising. We are rising. There's so many seeds that have been planted. And I believe that in 15 to 20 years, Cincinnati will be one of those cities. We'll like stand out, major impact city. Hell, we might even mess around and be like a hub for Black folks. Telling you, there's so many good people trying to make that happen. I hope they're successful. Hey, good morning to you. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, you can do so by simply dialing the number 513-873-7134. I'm Nathan Ivy, your humble host. I flow, therefore I am, and welcome back. Speaking of Bengals and speaking of things I've told you for a while, I used to get ridiculed for this. You know, when you're a visionary and you deliver flows that people can't understand, what I've noticed is that people react in certain ways. Some people just be like, well, that's what he's saying. And then some people try to criticize you and come at you. And for many years, I've maintained this and I continue to maintain this. And if you're a Bengal fan, listen up. For many years, I've maintained that the Bengals, number one, they need to get rid of Rudy Tootie. The red water pistol was terrible. We weren't going to win a darn thing with him as a quarterback. He just wasn't built that way. But then secondly, what I've been saying is that when the Bengals change their uniforms, look for a change in their fortunes. You know what I'm saying? When you look good, you feel good. Any athlete will tell you when you looking good, you feeling you feel good. And when you feel good, you play good. And then sometimes you just got to make a change. Like sometimes, I don't know, like if you got a history of losing It seems like that stuff can just be ingrained in the very uniforms. And for a long time, the Bengals had some of the ugliest uniforms in the entire NFL. Now, you got to go out and play the game. But when I looked at these other, teams that went to the championship and got good, it seemed like after they changed the uniforms, they changed their fortunes. The Denver Broncos, they changed the uniforms. They had those slick-looking uniforms with the metallic colors, and they got the Bronco again. I guess that's the name of a horse or something. Then they had the cool-looking Bronco on the side. Yeah, they updated it. And what happened? Back-to-back Super Bowls. New England Patriots, they were trash for years. Yeah, I know. It was the elevation of Tom Brady, but it was also simultaneous with the uniform change. Remember those old New England Patriots helmets with the little, I don't even know what that guy was called. I guess he was a Patriot. He was down like in the football stands, like he was an offensive lineman or something. You weren't going to win a darn thing with that. They changed the uniforms, they updated them, and what happened? Dynasty. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And now the Bengals have been slowly making changes to their uniform. I don't know if this is true or not. I hope it is, but over the weekend it was reported that they got a brand new white helmet. Who's been telling you that? Give your boy his props. I'm not surprised. I'm glad to see the Bengals are thinking like they should be thinking. I saw the new uniform with the white on white. Ooh, boy, it looks super dope. And I don't like the whole campaign, the white Bengal campaign. I'm like, damn, y'all tone deaf as hell. Bengals, white Bengals coming. I'm like, huh? Okay. Well, okay. But you know what happens first, just like anything else, white first and black. So yeah, I'll say it again, just like anything else in our culture, right? White first and black. So they're going with these all white helmets, and then you know what's going to come is the all black helmets, and then it's going to be on. It's going to be on and pop, and it looks super good. I just seen some mock-ups, and there was a dude that works for ESPN that tweeted it, and I ain't surprised to see it. I'm happy to see it, actually. It looks dope. Looks dope. Now watch what happens. They couldn't win last year because they didn't make enough drastic changes to the uniform. I know you think I'm crazy, but I'm not. I'm on to something. You'll see. And you'll think, damn, Nate was right. I know. So looking forward to that. I think they got something happening this week on Thursday. It's going to be like some kind of fan appreciation rally or something like that for the hardcore Bengal fans. If anybody in the audience is going, let me know. I'd love to get your thoughts afterward. Let me throw my number out to the ether once again, my friends. 513-873-7134. Now, that's my number. It's a free number anywhere in the country, unless you're trying to call us from Area 51. It's a free call anywhere in the country except from Area 51. And it's a free call in most places around the globe. If you run to any places or any problems, if you're traveling, you're checking out your boy or whatever while you're traveling, just let me know. I'll see what I can do. Probably nothing, but I'll look into it. I will look into it. Good morning to you. Absolutely beautiful day. Great to be alive. So the sadness of Black media we must discuss. Over the weekend, I spent just a little bit more time listening to some of these what's called new Black media. And I love new Black media. I love it. I love the fact that you have so many different voices and podcasts and live stream shows and television shows and channels and TikTok channels. I mean, the world is just so much, I think, better because it's like, people have their own platforms and you get so much more perspective. It's just the game is just so different. It used to be the talk radio game is if you really wanted to get into the game, you had to go through one of these corporate types, or maybe you came through like a public station or something like that. But now you can do your own thing. And I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. And what's become that is you've seen the rise of athletes who, while they're playing, they're creating their own media. And I notice these kind of things because it's what I do. It's the profession, it's the industry I've chosen to spend a lot of time in. So, I try to keep awareness of what's going on and who's doing what and all those kind of things, especially outside the 513, especially outside the Cincinnati area. And I love it, man. People like Draymond Green with the Draymond Green podcast. I told you before, people are going to look back and that was groundbreaking. That was a moment in terms of media and athletes, because I had never seen an athlete that was in the NBA Finals and then after every single game was putting up a podcast when he was talking about the game. That might seem small to you, but that's a huge step, and I predict you'll see more athletes do that kind of stuff. I love it. It's got to the point now where sports media, because they run out of things to talk about all the time. They just completely run out of things to talk about. So what I've noticed is now they're listening to these athlete podcasts and they'll talk about what the athletes talk about. So these athletes have changed the narrative. And it used to be the ESPN or your radio conglomerates. They would set the tone and they would create the narrative and the context for the conversation. And it still happens, obviously. But now more and more and more, it's the athletes themselves that are creating the content. I love it. I absolutely love it, man. I mean, if you're a fan of any sport or you're just someone who enjoys it, then you got a lot of it. And I could just run through the list. It's just so many podcasts out there. All the smoke, Old Man and Tree. I mean, I could go on and on and on, and almost all of the different sports now. I see a lot of it in basketball, or I'm not so sure. I don't see it so much in some of the other sports, but I see a lot of it in basketball, and I think it's dope. I think it's dope. You get a different perspective. I am athlete. All these new platforms, man. It's quite amazing. It is interesting though. Like, not all of them have something to say. And what was the Knuckleheads? Shout out to the Knuckleheads. The Knuckleheads was before Up in Smoke, but Up in Smoke was kind of like bigger than them. I don't know, it was because of the personality or they were with a network or whatever. I'm not really sure, but I used to watch those cats, man. Q and can't remember the other guy's name, but the Knucklehead podcast. That was one of my first sports athlete kind of podcasts that I started watching, actually. I started watching them. And then Up in Smoke came up, and then you have all these other folks. Of course, LeBron, the only second billionaire ever. Think about that. Think about that. You only got two billionaires in the whole history of the NBA in terms of players who went on to become billionaires. Number one was Michael Jordan, and number two was LeBron. And I would say that what LeBron has done is even more significant than Michael Jordan, which I think is hard to say because of Air Jordan and just the cultural titan that Michael Jordan was, is, and will continue to be. But the difference is that Michael Jordan became a billionaire after he bought the Charlotte Hornets. And I'll tell you one thing, like, let's be real here now. Let's go back to Donald Sterling. Let me hit you on game a little bit about this NBA. Donald Sterling was a sexist. He was a racist. It appeared he said some crazy stuff about about Magic Johnson and some other players that had a racial, undertone or maybe overturn to it. And he ended up getting pushed out the league. Like, literally, he was an NBA owner, and the other owners got together and said, you know what? You're not meeting our standards. So they made him sell his team to somebody else. Now, from the outside looking in, and at first look, you might be thinking, wow, that's so great of the NBA. They care. And I'm not saying they don't, but they also had a selfish motivation that Michael Jordan got a chance to enjoy. The reason why Michael Jordan is a billionaire, or should I say the financial move that put him over the top as a billionaire, was the updated valuation of the Charlotte Hornets after the Los Angeles Clippers were sold to new ownership. So what happened is the Los Angeles Clippers were sold to a guy named Steve Ballmer. He's a multi-billionaire. Matter of fact, he might be the richest NBA owner. I think he got his money from Microsoft or something like that. One of the richest men in the world. But when the Los Angeles Clippers were bought by him, he bought it for like something in the billions. What that did is that pushed up the overall valuation of the NBA and all of the teams. All of the teams got a bump. So they had a financial motive in selling the team from Donald Sterling to Ballmer, because they were all going to get a little bit richer out of it. And that's what happened with Michael Jordan. That's how he went over the top. LeBron James has become a billionaire while playing, and he doesn't even own a sports team. He don't even own a sports team. Significant. Does his own media. It's called Uninterrupted, and has set the stage for athletes to come. And set the stage. I mean, it's a whole new world out here. So in that aspect of it, I love new black media. I will say, I'm like, I'm looking at Draymond Green, and he does a podcast. It's very popular. He's got hundreds of thousands of people that click in every time. And I was disappointed because he had an issue with the former player named Kendrick Perkins. And I'm watching Draymond Green. This is a black man. And I'm listening to his podcast. I'm watching his podcast one day, and he refers to this other black man as a coon, just like. And I'm thinking to myself, this is what you got a show to do? Matter of fact, Twitter tried to ban me because I sent a tweet. I sent a tweet to Draymond like, bro, this is new black media. So he's always talking about the power of new media. He don't call it new black media because, he wants to not bring the racial stuff up, but he says new media, new media. I'm like, this is what new media is. Like, here you are as a player, you're criticizing the media for getting it wrong and like taking the conversations in places you shouldn't take it. Then you get a show, it pops off, and this is what you want to do with it? What you want to do, black man? Come on, yo. I sent a tweet. Twitter tried to ban me. Yeah, they did ban me for I don't know how long it was until I noticed it. But I appealed it, and it was like, oh, my bad, you right. I'm like, come on, man. In my tweet, it was something real small. I said it was like, look, you calling Kendrick Perkins a coon is coonish in and of itself. Twitter tried to ban me. Now, these social media platforms, I'll tell you, man, I just don't understand them. I really don't. I don't understand what their moralities are, what their standards are. I really don't understand a lot. I really don't. You know what I'm saying? You can be the president and lie. You can be a candidate for president and lie, and foment terrorism and drama and pain and racial divisions. They don't ban you. They don't ban you. You use the coon word, they want to ban you. They want to ban you. I don't get it. I don't get it. I just don't get it. I don't understand it. But I love it. In general, I love it. And then you got these different non-sports related shows, like a Roland Martin show. I said it before, I think that Roland's a pioneer. I understand what he's trying to do, and I hope he's successful. And you've got these other cats out there like Tariq Nasheed with the FBA crowd. Any FBA people in here? Because I might make you mad this morning. You FBA, Foundational Black American? You might get mad at me this morning, but so be it. Hopefully you come back. But I got a chance to catch up with some videos that I've been wanting to watch for a while. So I want to take a deeper look at it. And I got a chance to watch Roland video. Roland spent about 20 minutes on Thursday or Friday. I went back and watched it again. He spent about 20 minutes just going in on Tariq Nasheed, and I guess, some of these cats on YouTube, like the Black Authority, and it's a few more out there as well. And these people like 100% about reparations over everything else. And I've had my critiques of them as well. Like, I've watched some of this stuff, and it's like QAnon dipped in chocolate, basically. I'll be honest with you. Any FBA people in here? I jive with the basic concept of FBA. I jive with it. I understand it. I think it's necessary, the whole foundational Black American thing. And, I'm pro reparations, but I'm also pro creating the grassroots structures that can get to reparations. Like, if anybody and I hear this a lot, I've heard this from Tariq Nasheed and other people, and I think there is some room for critique in the sense that I hear these people talking about they want reparations, and that's great. But if you're not building the groundworks, if you're not building the social and political construct, if you're not motivating people to motivate the policy and the politicians, then you're just talking a whole bunch of ish. You know what I'm saying? That's just like complaining, saying, you know what? We should have this, we should have this, we should have this, but you don't take any steps to actually build the apparatus that would give you that. And I hear that a lot from them. I think it's very troubling. It really, like I said, some of this, if you FBA, I'm not trying to be ad hominem. I'm not trying to do all that at all, because I'm not going to say that I'm smarter than somebody else. Or I heard Roland referring to these people as simple Simons. I think that's a mistake. I feel the same way about the people who are in FBA and they really, really believe it as I do the Trumpsters. You know what I'm saying? I feel the same way. And I'm like, I don't think they should be just dismissed and call Simple Simons or crazy or dumb or whatever. I'll joke sometime and say smart dumb cat. And that's because, what I realize is that, there's some really, really intelligent people that just don't believe in voting. And I think as a minority in this country, if you don't believe in voting, that's a L tactic. That's not a W tactic. That's tactic. That's an L tactic. So it's smart dumb. You know what I'm saying? But I don't mean to get like super ad hominem with people, but it just doesn't make any sense. I mean, name for me any time in this country where, black folks, non-white folks have gained anything through policy that they didn't fight for, that they didn't create a movement for. I just have never seen it happen. I don't think it's possible, but to each their own. But I'm watching Roland, and he made some very interesting points. I hear people, and I had to correct people on this show. I hear people saying this all the time. Black people, show me where black people are involved with hate legislation. The Asians get it. And I'm thinking that's just not true. It's just factually not true. It just doesn't match with the reality. It might match with people in their work, their view, their work view, what they want to believe. But I hear a whole bunch of woe is me without no reading. It's just not true. You ever heard of James Byrd Act? Remember James Byrd? James Byrd was a black man that was drugged to death by some racists. Back in 2008, 2009, Obama passed the James Byrd Act, in which he expanded federal hate crimes and also increased the penalties at the federal level. And this is what the president can do. The president can't come in and decide what your state and what your local police officers do. That's different. Now, what a president can do is they can ratchet up the Justice Department to say, look, we're going to investigate these police departments if they appear to have patterns of racist behaviors. Now, that's what he did. So when I hear people say, oh, Obama didn't do nothing for us, it just makes me shake my head. I can't save you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these people have just, they have a certain cynicism. And when you match that cynicism, which is probably based on real life events, stuff that's real, that's happened to them or they've observed. And when you match that with ignorance, in terms of literally what I mean by ignorant is the absence of knowledge on a particular subject, you got a very, very you got a bad mixture there. You know what I'm saying? Like I told you, man, you show me somebody, if you really want to move somebody and sway somebody, I'll say this for the umpteenth time. The easiest way to move an adult is to figure which way they're already leaning and push them in that direction. Not to try to push them in the opposite direction. That takes too much time and energy. That might be impossible. But you figure which way they're leaning, to the left, to the right, just like in, real life with physics. You know what I'm saying? You go out into the forest and you see a tree that's leaning really, really bad to the left and you want to knock the tree down. What would you do? Would you try to push it to the right or would you try to push it to the left? If your goal is to knock it down, what are you going to do? You're going to push it in the direction that it's already leaning. And that's what's happening with a lot of black folks. A lot of these black folks are being pushed in a direction because of their cynicism, which is, again, probably based on really valid reasons. I saw this video, the other day, and a lot of people completely misinterpreted. But, your boy Nate Ivy always keep it 100 with you. I always keep it 100 with you. I'm always thoughtful. There was this video that was out here about these little black kids. It was in Minnesota, and they was cussing out the officers. I was reading comments, and I saw people posting it on YouTube. I'm reading the comments, and I was just struck by just what the people were saying. People were focusing on where their mama at, where their daddy at. We so caught up with that stuff in the black community. That's the first thing we say. Where their mama at? In my generation, I mean, that's over with. That's all over with. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for people to see things for what they really are. When I looked at that situation, you know what I saw? What I saw was a bad relationship between the police and that community. That's what I saw. Police roll up, black police at that. And these little babies is cussing them out. That means they big brothers, they aunties, they uncles, they mothers and fathers is saying this stuff about police officers when the police officers aren't there. And these babies are watching that and picking up on it, which leads us to the next question. Why would somebody talk about the police that way and, within the earshot of children? probably based upon the experiences. Don't forget, Minneapolis, Minnesota, man, them folks, them police up there is wild. Don't forget. But as I was reading the comments when I first saw that video, everybody was focusing, I thought, on the wrong shit. Why these babies out here with diapers? Quit acting like you ain't never seen no baby out with no diapers on before. Yo ass probably was running around with your diapers on. Come on now. Where their mamas at? Ooh, they probably learned that with their family. Well, no, duh. Obviously they did, but why are people saying that? You go back and look at just the recent history of Minnesota police departments in the community, man. Listen, you're gonna see some troubling stuff. We won't even talk about how back, man, if you go back to like 2020, you had some of these Minnesota police officers. Remember you had the social unrest on that summer? Well, things sparked out in Minnesota too as well because of, you know what? That's some really high profile cases coming out of Minnesota and Minneapolis. Man, police was rolling around. I'm not making this up. This is facts. I bring the facts. You had one police department that during the social unrest, you know what they decided to do? These mofos got packed up in riot gear, full riot gear. They took these non-lethal, weapons, were driving around in an unmarked van, just firing on people. Just rolling up to people like, hey, come over here, come closer, just hitting them, just firing on them and then laughing and high-fiving. Like, if that's the state of the police department in that particular city, no wonder the babies are responding to police that way. But, too many people get caught up with that surface-oriented stuff, man. They can't see or think beyond the surface, but I don't have that. We don't have that problem. We don't have that problem. I was very happy to see, what they call new media, in the way that people were responding during that summer and all the different voices that you heard. I thought it was fabulous. I thought it was great. But there's certain sadness in new black media, man. Like, I go to Tariq Nasheed's page and he's spending all this time criticizing Roland. And I've laughed at it before. I thought it was funny. I think Tariq Nasheed is a comedian. Yeah, he's funny. I think that's important, all that kind of stuff. But I think there's a limit to it as well. And I'm like, no wonder we can't come together and get nothing done on a larger level because we can't even agree on the basics. It's like, I'm talking about Roland, I'm talking about all these dudes, man. So I sent a tweet. I sent a tweet to Roland Martin and I sent a tweet to Tariq Nasheed and Roland Martin responded. And I was disappointed in his response. I ain't even respond back. I was like, really, bro? I think my tweet, and I'll bring it up in a minute, but the tweet basically was saying like, it was expressing my sadness that, Tariq Nasheed and all these dudes like Roland Martin are at odds with one another. They should be working together. But I think in a tweet I said something like, it just goes to prove that divide and conquer is undefeated. I'm telling you, divide and conquer is undefeated in the black community. It is that black folks are so easily divided. It's sad. It really is. It is quite sad how easily it is to divide black people. You got black people in this country running around and they have divided themselves over 3 letters, FBA, 4 letters, ADOS, ADOS. That's it. That's it. And it opens the door for people to get played. It really does. It's really sad. It really, really is sad. These brothers should be working together, not against each other. They should be working together. You know what I'm saying? Roland, Tariq, and all these other dudes, they should team up and do their thing together. That would be far more impactful, but they can't agree on the Democrat Party. It's just so sad. You know what I'm saying? The powers that be must be sitting back laughing. They sitting back laughing. Because they don't have to do anything. We're going to do it to one another over the smallest, most insignificant things. It's sad. It is actually sad. I like both those brothers. But I think both those brothers are open to critiques. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can be open to critique. But my thing is leaders lead. They don't get online tweeting back and forth with nonsense. Like, you got time for that? You got time for that? You got time for that. In your busy day, I'm going to let this motherfucker know you can't say this to me on Twitter. Man, I don't give a damn about none of that garbage. I don't care about tweeting to no Negro because he said something. So what? I was very disappointed. So I tweeted this. I didn't expect for Roland to respond or anybody, or Tariq to respond. I didn't respect that at all. I just wanted to let my voice be heard. And I know that people see these kind of things. So he tweeted something to me like, no, Tariq Nasheed called a black woman a bed wench. And ever since then, he's had a problem with me. Now, you know that Tariq Nasheed love to call black women bed wenches. And that's a black woman that's in an interracial relationship. You know what I'm saying? That's his term for it. Come on now. Let's be real here. And I'm thinking to myself, you Roland Martin. You're Roland effing Martin. And you in your why'd you even take the time to tweet that? Let that man say what he want to say on his show. Who cares? If his audience don't check and they like it, let them say it. He giving them what they like. They must like that. Let them serve. They like it when you serve up the grips that way. Let him serve up the grits to his audience that way. Who cares? I was just disappointed. I was very, very disappointed. And, I don't know what the future of new black media is. More this fractionalism, I guess. I don't know. But it's quite sad. It's quite sad. It really is. And my view on new media has changed. I've got a whole new viewpoint and opinion about it now that I've arrived at this opinion slowly over the last, I'd say, couple of years. But I wish them the best. I hope those guys are successful. I don't know. I've been watching Tariq Nasheed more because I want to get a sense of what FBA really is. And it seems like, again, anything that brings comfort to people, great. I'm with it. I still don't know what it is. I don't know what they're doing. I'm not here to openly criticize them because if that's what people like, that's what people like. So what? But all this belly aching about how the Democrats is trying to play you, I think is ultimately self-defeating because you're not giving people the facts. It should be about the facts. Yeah. Well, they ain't never passed no legislation that specifically give us protections, and then you go on Google in 3 minutes, you find exactly what they said wasn't there. You thinking to yourself, why are you doing that? Some of that stuff is very cultish. I'm telling you, some of that stuff is QAnon dipped in chocolate, folks. I'm telling you. QAnon dipped in chocolate, where you just exacerbate people's fears and you always play on this and you keep them in the dark about this. And, everybody want to feel like they're a part of something. People love to feel a part of something. And the powers that be, people who are high level manipulators, they know that. So they'll give you that. Yeah, family, that they'll hit you with that. I'm just saying, just be careful out there, folks. Just be careful because, I see these things. I just shake my head like, Yeah, it's QAnon dipped in chocolate. That's what it comes across as. And I ain't happy to say that. I like all these guys. Even what I'm saying today, I think everybody brings something different. I like them all. I've been to everybody's channel and have been entertained, and in some cases informed. And I like it like that. So if I was Roland Martin, I would just stick to the facts. I wouldn't get caught up with no name calling back and forth in a wars. But maybe that's what you got to do. That's why he got a much bigger audience than I do. So who am I to tell him what to do, right? He got 30x the size of my audience. So he must be doing something right. So this is just one man's opinion. That's all. Take it or leave it. It's just one man. Or QAnon in blackface, right? QAnon in blackface. It's just stunning. I mean, it is stunning. And I'm talking about stunning. When you sit there and you really listen, and when you look at the facts as they really are, it is stunning. It is stunning. Well, they ain't never did nothing for black folks. I mean, number one, all this sitting around waiting for somebody to do something for us, that's a problem in and of itself. That's a problem they ain't do nothing for us. The Democrats ain't doing nothing for. What are we gonna do for us is the number one question. There is nothing more self-empowering. There's nothing more than empowering than in motivating individuals to do for self. Run around waiting for somebody else to bring up reparations because it's the right thing to do. When has this country ever did something because it's the right thing to do? Where they do that at? You tell me where they do that at. That is very, very, very rare. It's people that don't do that with their own family members, let alone you talking about reparations. If I hear somebody say, what the Democrats do for us, it is so self-defeating. What the Democrats do for us? I don't care. What have you done for you? What you gonna do for us? It's the number one question. There's no question bigger than that. You start right there. That's where you start. You don't start with no darn political party. The Democrats didn't drop off no groceries at my house today. They don't love me. What? What? Oh my God, man. Just very disappointing. Very disappointing. But I know people love it when they go back and forth. And again, meanwhile, the white supremacists, they loving it. They love it. I bet they'd get a big kick out of it when they see these cats like Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson going head to head. And they got an issue and they get the name calling. I'm like, why are you name calling this dude? Like, is this a comedy show? If it's a comedy show, I'm with the business because I love to laugh, man. This world can make you cry. So any opportunity I can laugh, oh, cool, I want to take it. What is this? Come on, man. I'm not going to talk about whether I think Tariq Nasheed is pimping the people. I might say that for another show because I am doing my research on this at this point. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. But I was disappointed in Roland's response, talking about nope. Tariq Nasheed called a black woman a bed wench. What is this, the playground? Why you care if Tariq Nasheed goes on his show and says whatever he want to say? Let that man say what he want to say. Who cares? Nope. Tariq Nasheed called a black woman a bed wench. And when I checked him, that brother ain't never liked me since. Okay, Roland, you almost 60. Okay. This is what you keep occupying yourself with? Come on, bro. Keep focused on the Black Star Network, man. That's what you should do. Keep doing your best. Give a damn about what somebody else said. Tracy writes, Nathan, I thought the words coon and bedwench were cringeworthy words here, and callers were asked to stop calling your listeners that. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna happen though. You know, I don't have control over everybody what they say here, Tracy. I don't have the time for it, and that would take for me to monitor something like that. And I've said this before, but since you brought it up again, I'll take the time to really explain myself. I don't have time to do the show, produce the show, and then edit every single comment that comes in here. Sometimes the comments come in so fast, I don't even really see most of them, quite honestly. And then, we live in a land of adults. Adults gonna say what adults don't say. I try to lead by example. You don't hear me throwing the C word around like that because I feel some kind of way about it. I'll play every once in a while. I let it know that I'm playing with drop, and I'll play the Umar Johnson clip, but I really don't get down like that. Now, in terms of bed wench, I haven't really seen or heard anybody that, because typically a bed wench is a black woman that's sleeping with a white guy. And that hasn't really come up so much in terms of choppers saying about other choppers. But there it is. So yeah, I mean, that might have all been true. Everything you're saying might be true. A classy one writes, what's a wench? Well, bed wench, that's what they mean. When you hear these cats like Tariq Nasheed, typically they're talking about a woman in an interracial relationship, specifically a black woman in a relationship with a white man. Yeah. Terrace writes, Dr. Boyce is solid, especially when he brings on Dr. Claude Anderson. He all right. I applaud Dr. Boyce Watkins and what he do, but he's getting a little bit out of pocket too, man. Because sometimes I turn on, he talking about Lizzo and all this. I'm like, why is you talking about Lizzo? Leave Lizzo alone. Who cares how big she is or if she's twerking? Who cares? You're Dr. Boyce Watkins. So Boyce Watkins is cool. He cool. He ticked me off many years ago. I had the privilege of talking with him a couple times. It was a good conversation. Then I reached out to him, and he was too big to come on the show. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm Black Media. At that point, I was still with Radio One. And what I started to notice is that there was a lot of Black media, Black audiences gets overlooked a lot. even by black people. And I had to pull his card. I'm like, man, don't give me that, because she talking about some, I don't do interviews anymore, but talk with Yvette Carnell. That's how I got hooked up with Yvette Carnell. She came on the show a few times over the years. That's what ADOS, one of the founders of ADOS. Brilliant sister. I think Boyce Watkins is brilliant. You know, all these guys are brilliant. They're very smart, intelligent people. And but he ticked me off with that. Talking about some, I don't do that anymore. Then a week later, you on Fox News talking to Tucker Carlson. Like, Negro, I don't like that. Don't try to play black audiences. And then when Fox News call, you run over there. I don't like that. I don't like that one bit. So I let him know. He never responded. That was the last time I had any correspondence with Boyce Watkins. But even beyond that, you know, I like what he's doing. He's trying to educate people about whatever he's trying to educate people about. I think it's a beautiful thing. I just don't like it when he starts talking about Lizzo. I'm like, man, you ain't all in no super good health. Go sit your butt down. Acting like you over here with a six packs. Knock it off. You know what I'm saying? Why you trying to knock this sister because she got some weight on her? That ain't none of your business. If you ain't trying to help her and give some real help, then keep your mouth closed. Just shut up. You know what I'm saying? That ain't a thing no more. I just don't like it. But what I like don't matter. But since I have a show, I could talk about it. That's it. But these men don't care about what I say. And like I said, in some cases, their audience is 30x, 40x tall, bigger than mine. So they must be doing something right. I'm just one man with one mic, giving you my thoughts about it. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. Looking at what this means for the future. Like, is any of this going to be significant? I think that Roland is doing something that's significant. I think that all these brothers, Tariq, I think he's doing something significant. What they do in the future, I don't know. I love to see these guys, you know, team up. I'm gonna reach back out to Roland and Tariq and tell them that, like, you guys should team up, man. You should squash that beef. But I bet they'll fall out about the Democrat Party. Because the Democrat Party is to FBA and some of these new black media people what the government is to QAnon, right? He's like, it's a necessary, like, you know, with some of these cult-like groups, cultish behavior, is you got to have a villain. You got to have a villain. You got to have a boogeyman. Without a boogeyman, the whole thing falls apart. Right? We see this in religion where Satan is the boogeyman. Gotta have a boogeyman. And with these cats, with Tariq Nasheed and these FBA cats, the boogeyman is the Democrat Party. It's always out to play you, always trying to do you wrong, right? It ain't even a Republican Party, it's a Democrat Party. And I'm like, okay, I mean, think what you want to think, but what are the facts? And like I said, the best con games is you sprinkle, it starts with some truism, start with some truth, and then you just add the rest to it. You know what I'm saying? Starts with some truth. Like, yeah, they ain't never came through for us. That's right. And then that opens the door for all the other stuff. But again, I'll say it again. I don't think that these groups should be dismissed at all. I don't think the QAnon should be dismissed. I don't think the Trumpsters should be dismissed. I think that people that are in that work should take the time to drill down and figure out what's the strength of connection. What is the tie? What's so attractive to Trump? Why do Trumpsters still rock with Trump even though they know he's dirty? They know, these Republicans know that Trump is dirty. I ain't talking about the politicians. They're in it because it benefits them. I'm talking about the rank and file, average Joe Schmo type. What are they getting out of it? And there's something there. I'm not close enough and haven't done the research to figure it out, but there's something there that it can explain that relationship. It's the same thing, you know, with the folks that's in FBA and ADOS. There's something there. I don't think it should be dismissed at all. But good morning to you. 513-873-7134. And again, I say, I mean, I generally support everybody. I hope all these men are successful in whatever they're trying to do. TG writes, Roland is too old to resort to such. Stick to the facts and do true journalism. Yeah. There's another dude, his name is Philip. He has a huge audience. He has more subscribers on his channels in total than Roland does. And I like what he does. But I saw a video in which he said that basically, you know, he just put it out over the weekend. He said that basically people should ignore Roland. Say Roland ain't worth it. And he put this whole thing together. And he kind of reminded me of some stuff. Like, I had forgotten that Roland Martin got fired from CNN. At least that's why they say he got fired. It's because he made some homophobic comments about a soccer player. Remember this? Going way back to 2012, 2013, Roland was a commentator for CNN before the News One Now show. And there was a famous soccer player named David Beckham, and he had these underwear commercials. And Roland went on Twitter and said the dumbest stuff. He said some Derek Bauman type stuff. Remember Derek Bauman, white Republican? Derek, if you're listening, I hate to use you like this, bro, but I keep it 100. And remember what happened with him? He worked so hard to get the Democrat nomination. It looked like he was going to get it in the last city council election cycle. And then all of a sudden, all these tweets, he had tweeted some stupid stuff, just dumb. This, you a grown man going on Twitter doing this? Just dumb. You know what I'm saying? He tweeted some dumb stuff. And then right before the Democratic Party was going to make their decision on who they were going to endorse, somebody mailed like I would say copies, because the tweets of obviously are digital prints, but somebody took photographs or screenshots of his tweets over the years, put them in an envelope, and then sent them to the Hamilton County Democrat Party leadership. Remember this? That's what happened with Roland back in 2012. This black man is talking about any man that wants to watch the David Beckham commercial, something wrong with you, sort of implying like, what's up, buddy? That's right. I don't have the cam on there. Cam's not on, so I can't see. You got to brush it, bro. Hold on. Let me brush you.
I was trying to see if
I got you, man. I got you. Come here. I got you. I know how to get you. He got his hair cut for the first time professionally. Some of y'all might have saw it.
And I got a mohawk.
He got little kids mohawk, so all the kids like that. Pick out the top. Is your mother up?
Yeah.
Okay, she'll take care of you. Okay, you looking good though, man.
This is all I'm wearing.
That's all you wearing? Okay, you looking good. Why you wearing shorts? And you're not wearing no shorts? You're gonna be inside though.
I know, because Jungle Gym is gonna be cold.
You going to Jungle Gym today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just thinking when you go to the gym, you're gonna want to ball out. You ain't gonna want to ball with jeans on. Right? You gonna want to shoot hoops, right? Okay, do or whatever you're gonna do. It's all up, man. It's all good. It's just something I was thinking. That's my junior. Some of you, I put the photograph. First time he got his hair cut at the barber. In my personal opinion, the best barber in the city, Daryl the barber. Everybody knows Daryl. And he took care of my boy. That man's been cutting my hair for 20 plus years. So he was the only barber that I felt comfortable enough to let my boy, to cut my boy's hair. And I waited. He's 7 years old. I've been cutting his hair this whole time. So I wanted to grow out. Sometimes I think fathers run their kids to the barbershop to get it crispy. He don't need to be crispy. Kids should be wispy. He don't need he don't need hard edges. You don't need that yet. Let his hair just grow in naturally, and then we'll take care of him. But he looks cute, man. He looks real cool. His mother and I have been having some real issues. Some real issues with the fact that our children are growing up. Our daughter went out this weekend. She has a friend who's 17. They've been friends since kindergarten. And her friend just got her license and got a car. So she picked up our daughter from the house. It was the first time she ever did anything like that. We have been nervous wrecks. Then our boy gets his hair cut. He's looking more like a little boy and not like a little boy. You know what I'm saying? So, it's tough. It is what it is. But good morning to you. Vanessa writes, I completely agree that it's QAnon dipped in chocolate. That's a great description. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. These wild conspiracy theories, man. I listen to it sometimes. I'm like, that's just not true. These are not the facts. People deserve the facts, and you can make up your own opinion. Now, with this show, I try to give you facts, but I give you a strong opinion, and you will know when there's a difference. This is my opinion. Let the people decide with the facts. With the facts. Again, I ain't trying to hate on nobody, but it's just very disappointing. Let me see. Angela writes, I used to say winch and mammy when I was little. It was with my big sis, though. TG writes, all of us have many computers in our hands. Verify before you trust. Do your own research. Absolutely. Angela writes, we have to do for self, period. I'm all about that. Now, I'm not saying that the Democrat Party and in whatever political parties can't play a role in this, but it starts with us. I mean, you really feel that way about reparations? Let's get out here and create something. Listen, reparations is never going to happen unless people build the local, state, and national political and social structure to support it. It's never going to happen. It will never happen. Like if we're just waiting on the benevolence of politicians to do the right thing, we'll all be dust before we see that happen. It's going to take people fighting and organizing at the local level, state level, federal level before something like that can really be a reality. And so to say you're not going to vote until you're voting on reparations is smart dumb. I'll tell you something like this, folks. I don't know if you plan on voting in November, but I'm going to tell you what, whether you vote or not, guess what? There's going to be an election. Whether you decide to vote or not, there's going to be an election either way. Somebody is going to be elected. Like right now, I'm looking at this Tim Ryan, JD Vance. That's one of the most important races in recent history, because we understand the gridlock that's in the U.S. Senate. And if the Democrats can get another seat, I think it'd be better for our democracy. That's just me. Now, I know the FBA people, the real hardcore FBA people, they're saying like, ooh, he's shilling for the Democrats. Man, if you don't stop, please stop it. That's all I can. When I see foolishness, that's all I can say is just stop. That's it, just foolishness. But what I would say is they're both too old for all of that. They're both too old for all of that. Let me see if I can pull this up. Then it's just so interesting, then people started like replying to the tweet saying ADOS don't really rock with FBA. Y'all saying the same darn thing. What's the difference between ADOS and FBA? It's probably a small little difference. What's the difference? Y'all saying the same thing. American descendants of slaves and foundational Black Americans. But these two groups don't rock with one another because the leaders of the groups don't rock with one another. Like I told you, divide and conquer is undefeated in the Black community. It is undefeated. It wins every single time. Every single time it wins. Now, can somebody tell me what the difference between FBA and ADOS is? Because from where I'm sitting, they seem to be saying the exact same thing. I don't know in terms of anything that matters what the difference is. I really don't. Maybe there's some differences I'm just not hip to. I just haven't done enough. I don't know. But I just don't get it. It's very, very disappointed. Disappointed, man. It's like, this is the future of Black media. We ain't got a chance. We ain't got a chance. Like, if that's the future of Black media, we don't have a chance. Yo, when sometimes people ain't gonna like what you got to say, especially when you're dealing with the facts, because sometimes the facts are going to challenge people's assumptions, and people don't like it when you challenge their assumptions. Trust me, I know. I know better than most men in this city. I've been challenging Black people's assumptions for 20 years, and I'm here to tell you, Black folks don't like it. It's a thankless job. Most people want you to kiss their ass and pat it on the back and tell them they're doing a good job. When you say anything contrary to that, they fall out with you. Man, I've had people fall out with me and tell me they're not going to listen to me no more because I told people that Santa Claus ain't real. And some of y'all know it's true. I received threatening emails because I told people that Santa Claus ain't real. These are Black people. Black people. I don't like you, Nathan Ivey, talking about Santa Claus ain't real. If you tell my kid the truth about Santa Claus, I'm going to F you up. I had a man tell me that once. I had a Black man tell me that live on the air about Santa Claus. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Huh? It's right here. You need it? How'd you sleep? You didn't sleep good. Oh, okay. I appreciate the wifey, man. Got to get this in. That green tea with the collagen. How many people rock with the collagen in their tea or coffee every day? Or maybe your smoothie. I put it in tea and smoothies. When you get over 40, I'm telling you, keep that skin nice and healthy. That's how you do it. So I've had black people fall out with me over this. Just underscores the point I'm trying to make with you, man, about how easily it is to divide people. We are so easily dividable. And so it pains me. It pains me. You know, now that I'm taking a real look at it, it pains me on some level. I just hate to see it. What you talking about? Santa Claus ain't real. It's real if I say it's real in my house. Sir, Santa Claus ain't real. F you, Nathan Ivy. I'm like, okay, bro, calm down. Calm down. Calm down. So here's a tweet right here. Nope. He called a black female lawyer a bed wench. I defended her. He got pissed off and has slammed me since. That, all capitalized letters, is what happened. Okay. All right, Roland. You say so, buddy. All right. You got time for this? The other thing you got to understand is like if you have a family member that was in chocolate covered QAnon, you can't save them. Man, I watched a video, it's a young white girl, and she was in tears, and she talked about how she lost, LOST, lost her mother and father to QAnon. She said she sat back and watched as they slowly became radicalized and became a part of what she called a cult. And she said it got to the point where she couldn't even talk to them about anything related to politics whatsoever because they would go straight into these conspiracy theories. So, you try to do your best, but you can't save people unless it's like a drug addiction. You can't really help nobody get off drugs unless they really want to get off drugs. And you can't really help somebody see what's really going on unless they really want to see what's going on. You can't help them. You know what I'm saying? So Roland trying to appeal to the FBA crowd on his show is just not going to work. It ain't going to work because they don't want to hear that. And you was dancing with Hillary, and that's always going to be a stain on your record. That's just how they look at it. You can never erase the fact that he was dancing with Hillary. And I told you it was a bad idea. I'm like, what is he doing up here doing the shuffle with Hillary Clinton? I would never. I ain't gonna do it just because I don't see why I would do that. I ain't dancing for you. That's just too much like dancing for white folks. Literally, I just ain't gonna do it. If that's what I got to do to be successful, then I'm never going to be successful. I ain't doing it. Period. Period, point blank. Hell, I had a problem dancing for black folks. When I worked for black folks and the word would come down, hey, don't talk about Blackwell. I had a problem with that. And we talking about black people, let alone dancing for Hillary Clinton. Man, I cussed Hillary Clinton. Man, y'all better cut the music. Why y'all playing music and look at me like that? That's what I would have said. What you looking at? Who put that music on? Turn that music off. I'm not dancing for you. But, everybody's different. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. I get it. It's hard. That's called being an adult, man. It's hard. I ain't going to say I ain't never had to dance because I'd be lying to you. I've had jobs before where I had to dance, but I was younger and less wise. I cared more then. I don't care now. Good morning to you. Please share this, man. The world needs to hear this. They need to hear this coming from Cincinnati, Ohio, so they know that at least some people's got some damn sense. You know what I'm saying? This is the last bastion of common sense in the greater Cincinnati area, if not the whole gosh darn country. You know it and I know it. They know it too. Good morning to you. Viva la Choppers.
Go! Get to the chopper!
Long live the Choppers. Good morning to you. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing excellent. It's going to be a great day. Hope you go out and fail today. I want you to fail this week because if you're failing, that means you're trying to do something new. That's a good thing. I want you to fail until you become successful. Hope you take on some new challenges this week. Eat something new. Go step outside your comfort zone this week. I'll be honest with you, folks. It's about time for me to step outside my comfort zone. I feel like I'm just too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I hate feeling comfortable. That comfortability, you get complacent. Complacency leads to not doing a darn thing. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Good morning to you. Let me go straight to the phones. Got an early call here. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. This is your number one fan, also known as the most hated man in Nathan Ivy land, and that is me, Drop Squad 52. How you doing, sir?
People love you, man. Ain't nobody hating on you. Anybody hate on you, they got to go through me. Ain't nobody hating on you. But good morning to you, brother.
I feel you, little bro. But Nate, I haven't heard from the usual suspects. Where's Kev on the cell? Where's the Georgia Peach? Where's Danita? Where's Miss Mays? I mean, all the people.
Yeah, I haven't heard
that
from
used to,
Mays. Haven't heard from Mays in
yeah,
a
I
while.
know.
It's been a minute.
And right, and I'm not going to speculate and use conjecture like you do, but I have a feeling it's because of what you just been talking about. Because I just got up, turned you on. I've been listening to you about the last 20 minutes, 20, 15, 20, 30 minutes, and you are articulating something that I pointed out a long time ago, and that is the black divide within the black community and within the voting class in America. And it's sparked by these young people, Nate. And again, I go back to the summer of 2020 and the protest of George Floyd when his life was taken by that crooked cop who's in prison now and will probably never get out of prison. Those young people who took to the streets and the Democrat Party hijacked it. Because if you remember, Nate, at that time, America was at the height of the pandemic, and the pundits, the mainstream media, the politicians, they overlooked the protest as being a petri dish for spreading COVID. They overlooked that, and they let it go forward because they said it was such an important issue. Criminal justice in America
Who let it
and
go
the
forward?
civil rights of black people in this country.
Brother?
So my point is, Nate.
Brother Drop?
My point is,
Big
yes,
Brother
sir.
Drop? Hey, Big Brother Drop, can I ask a couple questions before we get too far and I forget?
Okay, Nate, go ahead. I'm the old man here, not you, but go ahead.
Well, so you said little brother, so I'll be a little brother. I don't mind that. I take it as a term of endearment. But you said the Democrats hijacked it. What do you mean by they hijacked it? And you said they let them protest. What do you mean they let them protest? What are you talking about? Can you explain that?
Because at the time, Nate, in blue cities across the country, they were shutting down churches. They were shutting down schools, but they were leaving liquor store open. They were leaving pot dispensaries open. They were letting all these other activities take place, but at the same time, they were saying these activities you couldn't do. So they said, "Oh yeah, Dr. Fauci was one of them. Oh yeah, it could be a problem, but this is an important issue, and the people need to be in the streets to express their disgust and exercise their First Amendment right." That's the way it went down, Nate.
I don't understand what you're talking about, brother. You said the
I know
Democrats.
you never do. For some reason, people are going to start recognizing that somehow you lose all your intellect when you talk to me. But that's
brother,
cool.
I haven't lost my intellect. In fact, it's my intellect that I'm struggling with. I just don't understand what you're saying. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, but sometimes, Nate, you are clearly being intellectually dishonest. It's clear because and again, only the people that have been with you,
bro. Okay, I'll take all that. I'll absorb it. You're just throwing jabs.
Yeah,
I'm never intellectually dishonest ever.
But
give
you
me
just
an example
said,
of when I'm intellectually dishonest, sir.
Okay, I'll give you a perfect example because you just said it earlier when I was listening to you. Because of your commentary lately between new black media, old black media, and just media in general, how you were saying that because of your commentary, people will call you a Democrat shield, right?
I didn't really make that point, but it has happened, yes.
But that's my point. You normally don't put yourself in that position to be misconstrued or misunderstood about your political stance in your commentary as a podcast host.
Yeah, but when I said...
And again, you also consider yourself part of the new black media because you do run Sin Digital Media, which is a media company, and you are black. So you fall in that same category. So maybe that explains
your
disgust. with Roland S. Martin out here. I mean, he just
But I
embarrasses
thought,
himself.
sir, can I say something, sir? Do you mind? You mind if I interject something real quick, sir?
Oh, come on, Nate. Stop patronizing, bro. Go ahead.
I'm not
ask
being
the question.
patronized. I want to be respectful. Trying to be respectful of your time. But you didn't answer the question. You made a statement and said that sometimes I'm intellectually dishonest, and now you're talking about something about Roland Martin. You do that quite a bit, big bro. I just got to point that out to you, and so it's very confusing.
Well, okay.
So
That's
can you
that's,
get back and answer my
mean,
original question? Can you give me an example of when I've been intellectually dishonest? Because I take great offense to that.
well, when it comes to certain political issues, Nate, that's all I'm
Like
saying.
what, sir?
When it comes,
Give me the specifics,
okay, like when
sir.
certain callers, when certain callers call in, mainly the ones that I named earlier in the call, when they call in, they're not challenged as vigorously on political issues like you challenge me. And everybody knows that I'm a Republican. These other people, I would assume that they're Democrats because I never hear them say otherwise. And you never use your political intellect on them like you do with me. And that's where I say the intellectual dishonesty on your behalf comes in. But only someone with the political savvy of myself is able to catch this kind of stuff. Okay, Nate. So
Yeah,
again, my brother,
I don't think you really is.
the
Now, at
black.
the very most, what you just explained might be a case of maybe I'm biased, but to say intellectually dishonest, I don't think that's accurate, sir. I don't think that
Okay, I get it.
I don't
Nate,
think
you
that
asked
you've really
me,
explained that, in my opinion.
but did I answer your question?
You gave me an answer. Yes, you did.
Okay, now again, like I said, when you ask me questions, don't get mad at my answers. Okay,
I'm not mad at your answers. No, I'm not mad at all.
because see, you're getting to learn. You're getting that fresh firsthand experience on how to debate or have a conversation with me. Because we've rarely done this. We've rarely done this in the past because you always had other callers,
sir,
to do that for you.
Can I just point something out that I think you forget sometimes? My career in media didn't start when you started listening to the podcast. I've been doing this since 1996. So
I know this.
I've been debating, and if you want to say arguing and talking about stuff and talk about black folks and policies for 20 plus years. I ain't new to this. So sometimes when you hear me talk about things, I'm talking about this going back through the whole span of my career and not just the things that I've talked about since I've been doing the podcast. And sometimes I think, just because you just found the show in the last 4 or 5 years, but the show was much longer than that, much older than that. So I just want to make sure you understand that.
Okay, yeah, I get that, Nate. I understand that, but who added the political twist to your non-political show? It was me.
My show has always been about politics, and I think my show has always been about people, politics, and pleasure.
People, politics, and pleasure.
Right.
But
Trump
changed that, Nate, and that's when I joined your show.
Sir. Trump didn't change.
Yes, he did. You said OG. You ain't. Nate, see, stop, bro. You used to say, I ain't gonna be up here talking about Trump all the time.
Right.
Ah!
What's your point?
Right.
Okay.
Because again, you didn't want your show to become a 100% political show.
That wasn't
everybody else was because of the man, because of Donald Trump.
I understand.
And
you're entitled to
Nate, people were blowing up. Grifters were getting that bag because of Donald Trump on both sides.
Right. And
Democrat
you saw that and you're trying to
Republican.
ride that wave too. But no, sir, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion, but if you want to know the truth about something I'm doing the way I think about it, just ask me and I'll tell you.
Okay. All right.
So my show has always been about people, politics, and pleasure. I'm very clear about that. And what you hear me what you'll hear me say is from time to time is I don't want to just talk about politics. That does not mean that I don't talk about politics. It means that I just don't want to talk about it exclusively. But it really depends. It depends on what the world needs or what's going on. There are some days and some weeks and some months when we heavy in politics. And there's some days,
Right.
some weeks, and some months when we're not.
For 5 years, this country was heavy in politics because of Donald Trump. You remember the Time magazine article by Molly Ball about the secret cabal to stop Donald Trump. It continues to this day. And the January 6th propaganda hearing will continue tomorrow.
It looks like that cabal was right. Donald Trump was a threat to our democracy.
But see, that's the thing, though, Nate. See, that's the thing, and that's why that divide that you were talking about earlier is getting so wide between FBA, run by Tariq Nasheed, ADOS, run by Yvette Carnell, and then you got old ass Roland Martin in there, who's also part of. He tries to say he's neutral, but he's not. And now FBA, or as I call it, the Black Divide, also known as the Black Not Democrat movement of 2022, is getting very large. And again, before I close out,
it's a movement to
before
get people
I close.
not to
See,
vote.
I knew it. You just can't let me get it off. I love it though, Nate.
Well, we're having a conversation, sir. It's not a monologue.
I know, but
you
when
get a chance to talk.
But when I say something
is
and
if I
you
don't
jump in
now, I'll forget.
Oh no,
you'll go on to something else. I want to make sure that I
won't. I told you I'm getting ready to wrap it up. Because you know I'm an old man, and you be trying to fuck with my mind and try to mess up my train of thought. But that's okay though, Nate.
Sir. I never think like that.
That's okay. But again, like I said, Nate, it's because of the Democrat Party and these young people who feel that they put Biden in the White House and put the Democrats in charge in both chambers of Congress. They're feeling betrayed, and the remorse is setting in. So I'm just going to sit back.
Right.
It's another election tomorrow, and Tim Ryan, the Democrat candidate in Ohio, the guy that's running against Dr. Oz in Philly, Raphael Warnock in Georgia against Herschel Walker, Val Deming in Florida running against Marco Rubio. Those are the races that everybody's watching because it could possibly give the Republicans a majority in both houses of Congress, because we already know that the House is gone. The Democrats will lose at minimum 40 seats. That's minimum. It could go as high as 60 or as low as 31.
And you're happy about that,
well, because my team, the Republicans, will be back in the majority with a Democrat president. That's going to be the key, Nate. It's going to be the key, because if you look at the last three Democrat presidents. I mean, the last two Democrat presidents.
For black folks to make you so allegiant to them.
Nate, I'm just putting out political information for people to verify, because I know they don't trust me. I put it out there because, Nate, if you look at the last two Democrat presidents, Barack Obama and Bill Clinton, they both lost their majority in their second term, and they had to work with a Republican Congress.
That's typical of most presidential.
But what was the result?
Presidential election cycles, sir. You're not telling us anything we don't already know. We already know that, sir.
But just answer this last question before I hang up.
But we already know that.
But Nate, what was the result of the 2000 election after Bill Clinton, and what was the result of the 2016 election after Barack Obama?
And what was the result of the 2020 election after Trump?
So Nate,
what was the result of the 2020 election after Trump? He lost.
What?
I said, what was the result of the 2020 election after Trump?
That was different. Trump was one term. I'm talking about a two-term president.
Exactly.
Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, 2 terms. That's why I only brought up those two.
And that's what it all comes down to. Trump was rejected.
It's obvious. That's why.
But I'm glad you can admit.
No.
I'm glad you can admit that the Republican Party is your team. I'm glad to see you coming around.
I've been telling you that forever.
Now sometimes you try to hide
it. This is what I'm talking about.
Sometimes you try to hide
right
it.
There.
No, sir. Sometimes you try to hide it. But I'm glad you admitted it this morning. And I'll take it.
Your intellectual dishonesty right there was just on full display. You just said it. But anyway, thank you, Nate. My favorite podcast host, Nathan Ivey. the #1 podcast in the greater Cincinnati area,
I'm your
and it
favorite
would
talk show
not
host,
be
talk show host. That's
possible.
true.
It would not be possible without his choppers. Drop Squad 52, dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Stay woke, Democrats.
Yeah, take it easy, brother. That's my big bro right there. When he says dropping science, that's always funny. The way he that high pitch in his voice. Here is the here's a tweet from Roland Martin. He said, nope, he called a black female lawyer a bad wench. I'm like, really, Roland? Really, man? You're Roland Martin. You building big things. You know, you on a whole nother level. You shouldn't be worried about that silly stuff, man. A little small stuff don't matter. Big deal. But, you know, we let the smallest things divide us. The smallest little things don't really matter. That'll divide black people in a second. Some black people anyway, not everybody. I want to move on. I want to move on because I want to talk about a viral video of a black man who is having a conversation with his son. He's sitting side by side with his son. And I can't tell you that I know all the details, but apparently the man is upset because of some things that people are saying on social media. Feels like his son is being influenced by it. And so he has to step in to let his son know, like, not here, not today. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going out like that. And so somebody on the video, so in the video, let me set this up, then I'll play it for you. In the video, you see the black man sitting on the couch and his son, looks like a teenager, is sitting directly to his left. And the man is very upset and animated. And apparently somebody on the video says something like, you know, why are you doing that? Or I need to help you or something like that. And then the father slaps his son because, and again, I think there's more to it. I think his son was flexing guns and weed on social media and stuff like that. And that definitely amps it up. Like in this day and age, anything you put on social media can be used against you, just so you know that. If you try to go get a job or whatever you're trying to do, the first thing people are going to do, they're going to go to social media and they're going to see what they can see about you. So, you know, if you don't want people to see all of that, then you need to have a private account. You know what I'm saying? Where you can decide it's not public. So you know exactly who's in there in the room and on your account and all that kind of stuff. But people are wondering whether this black man went too far. I'm going to play the video for you. It might be a little hard to watch because, you know, he does slap his son. I don't think that's ever a good thing. But I'm going to roll this tape. And then you tell me whether you think this black man went too far. You ready? Are you ready? All right, let's rotate.
Pull up. Whoever want to, like, while y'all bullshitting, pull y'all tough ass up. I guarantee y'all.
All right, let me stop right there because it's obvious that I didn't do my job. I need to remind you that there is extreme language in this video. Okay? I know many of you are in the car with your children, and I respect that. Okay, so I want to give you a heads up. Maybe you can turn it down for a little bit, and maybe you want to go away and come back. But I'm going to put this up. There's extreme language in this video. You ready? We're going to take it from the top. All right, let's rotate.
Man, tell them pull up. Whoever want to, like, while y'all bullshitting, pull y'all tough ass up. I guarantee y'all would beat the shit out of every one of y'all. Pull up. I'm on it.
What's that, Davis? Make sure in here.
Do it. Just for that. Now, come help. Come help. Man, quit playing with me. Come help him. These type of kids gonna get you fucked up. That's what I'm saying. These your friends though. Your friend gonna get your ass beat. If you ever in your fucking life listen to one of them and raise your hand at me, bitch, I will bury you. And bury they dust asses too. Don't fucking play with me, David. This type of shit I'm talking about. These little boys, these little girls gonna get the shit beat out you, boy. Play with me if you want to. You better choose your motherfucking friends wisely. Because right now, you bullshit, nigga. Better tell them your dad not the nigga to play with. I will bury them fucking bitches. I don't care about killing no fucking kids. You better tell them. before they kill you or before they hurt you, I'll do it. Tell them folks quit motherfucking playing. This shit ain't no motherfucking joke. Fuck wrong with y'all kids. Don't get mad because y'all dust ass parents don't love y'all like I love mine. Now what? Y'all know where he at. Pull up. Help. Come save. Since y'all can't.
So there it is. Angela's too funny. She's right. She is hilarious. She writes. What does she write here? She writes. She writes. Let's see. Let's wait and see if children's services pull up. I like to again. We don't have all the context. That's that man's son. I don't love his son more than he loves his son. Nobody in this audience loves that boy more than he does. That's just the way it is. But what do you think about the actions of this man right here? Is this the kind of relationship that you have with your father? Any men out there want to talk about the relationship they have with their father? Like, I grew up around alpha men. I grew up around alpha men who own their own homes and started their own businesses. They ran their ish. That's what I saw when I was younger. I never saw that though. You know, I never really got talked to or dealt with my family like that. Of course, I really wasn't on social media, so it was a different thing. I think social media is a brand new challenge to parenting. It's a whole new challenge. Is this good parenting? Is this what you expect? Is this what you need from a strong father? Is that tough love? Is this, and I hate the term, toxic masculinity? Why'd he smack the boy?
I'm on it. Do it.
And then mom or the woman is like, yeah, just make sure they know. So a woman can have so much influence in a man. A woman can have so much influence in a man. A good woman can take the basics in a man and make him a king. No doubt about it. Tell me I'm wrong on that. A good woman can be the biggest key to your success ever. And a bad woman can lead you down the wrong damn road, drain everything from you. Take everything. Remember the 300? Take everything from them. A bad woman, and I say that very, very generally and loosely, and if you want to challenge me and ask me what that means, I'm talking about a woman that don't bring that positivity. She got her own issues in her head. And when I heard mom or the woman say, just let them know, part of me felt like, I wonder, is she being abused? And the other part of me felt like, nah, don't say that. She's supposed to be telling him don't do that. Is it okay to smack your kid across the mouth? Have you ever been smacked across the mouth? I don't think my mother ever smacked me across my mouth. My father, my uncle, grandfather, they never smacked me across the mouth. I've never been smacked across the mouth by anybody in my entire life, actually. I mean, I got in fights and you get slugged, but I've never been smacked. My children have smacked me when they was kids because kids like wake you up like, Daddy, 2 cheeks. Are you up, Daddy? I'm in the middle of a dream. It's like I'm walking back into the bedroom with Hallie. And when I get into the bedroom, there's some other beautiful women there as well. And then the next thing I know, my son is smacking me in the face saying, Daddy, I'm hungry. Can I get an apple? That happens. It's a rude awakening. He's like, wait a minute, Hallie, Daddy, can I get an apple? Oh, sure, son. That's too hilarious right there. Let's wait and see if the children's services pull up. Classic. We level it up. Great one. TNT writes, spoken like a true father. Okay, TNT, this is spoken like a true father. Again, it's hard for me to criticize another black man the way he raises his kid. Okay. But he smacked the boy in the face. What'd you smack him in the face for? You smacked him in the face because somebody says something online like, hey, we'll come over there and stop you. So he smacks the boy in the face. That seems abusive to me. Let's see what happens.
Just for that. Now, come help. Come help. Man, quit playing with me. Come help her.
He seems like a pretty tough guy. But as a man, the first thing I think is you would never do that to a man who you think is gonna put up a fight. You know what I'm saying? You get around a bunch of dudes, you get to try and you get a chance to see who's who or who's not. And there's some tough guys out there. There's some guys I've seen guys go straight at it, straight in the mouth of other dudes. But there's always some dudes in the gym or dudes in the environment that mofos don't mess with because they know. What do you think? What do you think? Good parenting?
These type of kids gonna get you fucked up.
I guess somebody's out there thinking if we had more parents like this, then we wouldn't have all these drugs and shootings in the streets, huh? I don't know. I don't know. Mika writes, what the hell? What the hell? Everybody wants a viral moment for the wrong reason, shaking my head right. And I guess the reason why he posted online is because the son was posting and flexing with guns and stuff like that. Like, that's a very serious thing. Like, I would be madder than a hornet's nest if my son goes on social media and does some dumb stuff like that. But you got to measure yourself. Like, you know, as a parent, any parent out here knows sometimes your kids do stuff and you can't react in the moment because you got to separate your feelings from how you feel about yourself or how the situation makes you look and how you're going to respond and then what's best for them. You know what I'm saying? You ever been so mad at your kids, all you can say is go to your room. Go to your room. I'll talk to you later. We've been there before. I've been there before. It's like, boy, go to your room. Like, little girl, go to your room. I'll deal with you in a moment. I got to get myself together. Somebody writes, I can't with the public humiliation of kids. Yeah. 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 The father at some point says, I don't care about killing kids. That's restless. So, like I said, dad must be a real tough guy. He must stay with a couple pistols because, you know, now you're threatening other people's children. You know, some men like that. Sean writes, I understand the message. The method is intense, but the message is real. Sister Iris writes, that daddy is mad. Mika writes, I understand having a conversation with him, but doing that and talking to him like that, baby, listen, I would about my son, called him the N-word. I mean, that's tough. That's a tough thing when the first person to call you the N-word and you a black kid is your parent. That hurts. That hurts. Your parent ever flip out and call you a nigga? And you like, wait a minute, you talking to me like I'm somebody on the street. I thought you loved me. That's painful. Can be. Joe writes, I get it, but I would have never went recording it and all. That's the part that lost me. Right. I just don't think smack your kid across the face because somebody put something on Twitter or social media, Facebook. I don't understand what the point is in that. He has no control over that. I guess he wants to show him I'm tougher than your friends. And I get it. You know, I think as parents, you got to have that moment depending with your kids, especially with boys, because boys are different from girls. He's talked all that snack, but when a bullet goes through the window, through him or knee or on his neck, it's a different story. He was talking that real good stuff. Sister Iris writes, listen to him before you judge. Okay, I think that's fair. Let's listen again. Again, extreme language. There's extreme language. I want to give you a heads up. If you want to turn it down or turn away, I totally understand. Let's listen again.
Pull y'all tough ass up. I guarantee you I would beat the shit out of one of y'all. Pull up. I'm on it.
What's that, Dennis? Make sure anyhow.
Do it. Just for that. Now, come help. Come help. Man, quit playing with me. Come help him. These type of kids gonna get you fucked up. That's what I'm saying. These your friends though. Your friend gonna get your ass beat. If you ever in your fucking life listen to one of them and raise your hand at me, bitch, I will bury you. and bury they dust asses too. Don't fucking play with me, David. This type of shit I'm talking about. These little boys, these little girls, gonna get the shit beat out you, boy. Play with me if you want to. You better choose your motherfucking friends wisely. Cause right now, you bullshit, nigga. Better tell them.
You know, to be honest with you, this is getting more and more harder for me to watch. You know, it's really like, to me, this goes back to that whole, you know, you got to beat your kids thing that we know that some black people get caught up with. I think his overall message, I get it. But do you really got to call your son the B word? Like, is that really necessary, yo? But when I look at this black man, I'm wondering how he was raised. I'm wondering if that's the way his father dealt with him. And then I'm also wondering, and again, I'm not trying to get overly judgmental, but we're going to have this conversation. We're going to have a conversation. I'm also wondering, like, what kind of example are you setting in your house? Like, as children, we already know parents can say whatever they want to say. We're going to watch what they do. We're going to watch how they conduct their business, how they conduct themselves. It ain't about what you tell them. It's about what you show them. What are you showing this boy? I mean, what are you showing this boy? I'm not there. That man, that's his son. He loves his son more than anybody in his audience time 1,000, right? Because that's his son. But gosh darn, that's what we need. Anybody out there feel like we need more of this in the community? This ain't nothing. Shit, my son, I used to get smacked upside the head all the time. Almost got choked out, but he loved me. This is hard to watch, but I'm gonna play more of it. It's hard to watch.
Your dad not the nigga to play with. I will bury them fucking bitches. I don't care about killing no fucking kids.
So there, right there, you didn't cross the line. Now you don't care about killing kids? Just reckless. He seems like the kind of man that when he gets riled up, he just says anything. He just loses control. So when your boy grew up and he getting his feelings, and maybe he getting his feelings for a good reason, he lose control talking about killing people, then what you gonna say to him? You talking about how you don't care about killing kids because kids are on Twitter or on social media talking to you. And what? What? I don't know. I just don't like it. Edward writes, my mom slapped me many times. Yeah, I mean, that's what your mom did. Again, Edward, your mother loves you. I'm always going to assume that parents love their kids, but I think that parents learn from how they were parents. I'm trying to think. I want to say that Chairman Mom slapped me once. I just don't remember it. She just didn't deal with me like that. You know, my folks didn't deal with me like that. Yeah, I was a kid. I was doing all kind of stuff. You know, the dumbest stuff you can imagine I used to do, but my parents never dealt with me like that. You know, I just had too much respect for them because I saw how they conducted themselves. You know what I'm saying? The way that they conducted their household. I had a lot of respect for them. Is it better for your kids to respect you or fear you, or a little bit of both? I think it's a little bit of both, but heavy on the respect side. And again, you know, it ain't about what you say, it's about what you do. Like, if you want to teach your kids to be entrepreneurs, then you can't tell them you got to go build a business in front of them. They got to watch you build the business. That will inspire them. You can talk all that entrepreneur, build your own business stuff all you want to, and you might be right. But when they see you actually do it, that's what's going to stick with them. It's the same thing with interpersonal relationships. They're going to watch how you conduct yourself in the house. Very, very sad. I think it's very, very, very sad. I think it's a little too much to me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have to deal with my son like that. Like, do I have that in me? I think every father has that in him, but I don't want to have to deal with him like that. And I think this is just me personally, but I don't like the whole smack. It depends, you know, it depends, because sometimes kids get disrespectful. They're going to try you. Obviously so. But people do things that they think they can get away with. right? So this man smacked his son across the face because he felt like ain't nothing gonna happen. If he thought it was gonna be some repercussions, he would have thought twice about it. I just feel like when you smack somebody in the face, your kids, even your kids, something like that. I don't know. I just feel like it's like a dehumanizing type of thing. That's just me. Now, I'm not against no whoopings and corporal punishment. I'm pro all of that if it's necessary. But sometimes I felt like I've seen these videos, and it's hard. Again, it's hard for me to judge another parent because I'm not their father, I'm not their parent. But sometimes I felt like, okay, did you really have to do that? And as I'm looking at this video, I feel that kind of way. This is hard for me to watch. I'm gonna play it to the end. I'm done playing it. So I just don't want to see it anymore.
You better tell them. Before they kill you or before they hurt you, I'll do it. Tell them folks quit motherfucking playing.
I mean, dead is dead, right? Before they kill you, I'm gonna kill you. Well, dead is dead, Dad. I mean, what difference does it make?
Shit ain't no motherfucking joke. Fuck wrong with y'all kids. Don't get mad because y'all dust-ass parents don't love y'all like I love mine.
Is that an Angels hat on?
Now what? Y'all know where he at. Pull up. Help. Come
The little boy just dancing around. Oh, kids are the best, man. And nothing like I love to see kids play. It is a joy. Irish Rice, we don't know what happened before. It is absolutely right. We don't know what happened before. We don't know what happened before. We have no idea. So again, I want to preface that. And I want to preface again in saying that is that man's son. I don't love his son more than he loved his son more than anybody else. I want to make sure we get this right. This is a conversation piece. And I ain't trying to go overly hard on the dad, but I'm gonna, people put this stuff out on social media to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Let's go to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing great.
Hey, man, I want to comment on a video real quick.
All right, who am I speaking with?
Dante.
Hey, what up, Dante? Good morning to you. Welcome.
I'm good, man. I want to comment on the video real quick, man. I don't know how many people have dealt with like these 15, 16, 17-year-old sons that we have. I have 3 sons, Nate. I have 2 sons that are went through college, great jobs, successful. My one son just got married. My middle son just got married like a month and a half ago or so. My oldest son's doing fine, but I have this 21-year-old, right? Maybe he's not the same. They were all raised the same. He was even, I would say he was raised better than them because I got older, I matured more, so I had more to put into him than I put into my other sons. But the difference is the social media, the climate in France, the climate in the streets have changed, and it takes a rougher, harder, more abrasive way, like a hands-on way of raising these kids. Like a lot of these people are speaking in generality when they saying like, you can't do this and I can't do that, you can't do this. Sometimes it's just how it needs to be handled that way sometimes. It's not the same. Like people are always saying like, well when I grew up it wasn't like that, or not to get off the subject, but like my brother always says, Michael Jordan would have never. Times have changed, things have changed, things have elevated. This is not the ball playing days of Michael Jordan. These are not the times of how we were raised. We don't have the need for attention and everything else like these kids have. Everything is different. We never dealt with this. It's not the same. And I hate when people always say, well, my parents used to and the community used to. We don't have that anymore, Nate. It's different. We don't have the village anymore. It's different. Things are different. And I wouldn't, like in a situation with my son, I put my hands on my son before because it called for that. I never abused him. I never abused him. I would never abuse him. But sometimes, man, nowadays these kids think that their friends are a bigger influence, or they change who they are once they get outside versus how they were raised at home. I started having trouble with my son at when he turned 17. It had nothing to do with the home, Nate. Nothing to do with the home. Man, his mom has been married for 24 years. Has nothing to do with the home. He has structure. He know how he was raised. But he got out here and turned into an ass, Nate, and I'm not being funny. Had nothing to do with his home. So when he came home to me, the way I was raised, no, I ain't having it. No, I ain't having it. Like when he got around me, it was always, no sir, yes ma'am, no this, no that, this and that. But then I see video of how he acted. Like I get access to his phone one day, right? Man, the same thing, man. He had a picture, man, with guns with his little friends. They got bags of weed. Dude, you want to raise like that? You don't know nothing about being that guy. You were raised in a structured home, man. You were raised with two parents that work. You spoiled. You go on summer vacations and shit. Come on, man. You wasn't raised like that, but he got out here with his friends, mate, and they influenced him to do that. And I hate when people say, well, his friends was a bigger influence on you. Nah, that's the choice he made, man. That's the choice he made. He wasn't raised that way. It was a disappointment and it hurt my heart. Yeah, I was so mad I put my hands on him because I was that pissed. How dare you? That's disrespectful to me. Like I told him, I told all of my children, and me and my wife shared this sentiment. Man, the way you act out here is a reflection on who I am. And I've always told my kids, don't call me from prison, don't call me from nowhere, because I haven't did that to you, so show me the same respect. I demand my respect, man. Like that man said, I kill a kid. Yeah, man, I would hurt one of these kids out here, man, if they took my son's life, mate. I'm not accepting it. I'm not accepting it from a kid. I'm not accepting it from an adult. I'm not accepting it from the police. Nobody will ever be out here disrespecting my son and my wife like Trayvon's mom and dad is getting disrespected by this man. Nobody will ever disrespect my family like the way these police officers do when they kill our children. I'm not accepting it from man, woman, or child, mate. I'm not accepting it. They're not doing anything to my kid. Yeah, I'll fuck a kid up, mate. I'll fuck a grown-up up. You're not going to hurt my family. But at the same time, you need to be doing what you need to do to get that respect and to make your life better. If you're not doing it, you can't expect nobody else to do it. And you wasn't raised that way. That man didn't put his hands on his son out of abuse, I don't think. That man's that hurt. That man probably didn't raise his son like that. It hurts, man. And if nobody ever dealt with a kid like that, it hurts, bro. We ain't perfect, but it hurts, bro. We out here busting our ass for these kids, man. They disrespectful. They do the wrong shit, mate. You can see in that man's eyes and his voice he loves his kid, bro. It hurts, man. And it's disrespectful to us as parents. When you do the right shit all your life, and you got this kid acting this way. Yeah, I want to put my fucking hands on him. And then anybody out here acting too good, like, I would never. You've never been hurt by your kid. Be honest. Everybody wants to be politically correct nowadays. Tell the fucking truth sometimes. Sometimes it's needed, bro. And I love my kids, bro. I die for my kids. I've sacrificed everything for them, and you're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to disrespect your mom. You're not going to do it. I'll die for that, Nate. Bro, I'm a man first. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm everything else. I'm going to protect mine by any means necessary when it comes to anybody. But you got to do what you need to do. You need to reflect the way you was raised. You need to apply the tools that you were given. If you come out here and be an asshole, man, accept what you get. You want to be a thug, we going to thug it then, yo. But that ain't how you were raised. Some of us didn't have a father to do nothing. Some of us needed a father to slap us in the mouth 20 years ago, 30 years ago. We didn't. Some of us don't even know our dad's address. We ain't perfect. Yeah, that man made a mistake, bro. But this social media world, man, is what they adapt to. This they thing. So sometimes you got to do that. That's what you want to show off in front of your friends. The same way some of our moms told us. You act up in Kroger, you're going to get it in Kroger. You act up in school, you're going to get it in school. You act up on social media, you're going to get it on social media. That's how it goes, bro. If you ain't ever dealt with that, you don't know how to deal with it. Until you deal with it, don't comment on it. It's like me. I wouldn't comment on teenage pregnancy because I ain't never had to deal with it. But I've had to deal with what this man's going through. And I had damn near the same reaction, just not on social media. I get the point of that. But sometimes it's needed, bro. These kids are different. They're not the same as when we were raised in the 70s and the 80s. It's a different animal out here. One mistake of a 15, 16, 17-year-old now will cost them their life. It costs us maybe a fight, maybe some brass knuckles. You might maybe even get cut. These kids are dying out here from flashing a gun on social media. If that little boy out here flashing a gun on social media and he get into a beef, what's the first thing that other guy gonna think? I know he got a pistol on him because he on social media waving a pistol. You gotta cut that out, man. By any means necessary, we gotta cut that out. We gotta get this out of our kids' hands. A slap in the mouth today, a boy's getting shot in the brain tomorrow. Not everything he did was perfect, but at least he gives a damn. At least he's there for his kid. Half these people comment don't even know what their baby daddy don't even know their kids. Get on his ass instead of a man on social media. Clean your front steps. Clean your porch. Peace, bro.
All right, Dante, thank you for the call, bro. Yeah, I really appreciate it. I appreciate him getting vulnerable. I can hear it in his voice. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I still feel the same way, but I just appreciate him being real and vulnerable with us this morning because he didn't have to do that. And as I said before, you know, this is these kind of issues, man, they at best, these kind of conversations make us look at ourselves at best. At best, you know, make us take a look at ourselves. I see Donnie's in the room and she was asking if I could play it again. This is very hard for me to play, but I'll play it again because I want to make sure, you know, it's people coming into the stream and maybe you missed it. So I'll play it again for you. It's hard for me because it's just hard for me to see a kid get treated this way. But again, let me go back to Dante, man. I appreciate everything the brother said. I think he was talking some realness from his perspective. And it just underscores the point I made about this brother. Like this, I can only assume that parents love their children. That man loves his son. And as Dante loved his son, he was really honest with us. He just put it out there. Like, you know, everybody's saying something, but that was me. Here's why I did it. I appreciate that. But the question is still on the table. What do you think about this? Is this the tough love that we're missing in our community, or is this crossing the line to abuse? I'm going to play this one more time. All right. So we can all be caught up. It's about 1 minute and 46 seconds. It is hard to watch. There is extreme language. Okay. And put that sign up again so you know what's coming. Roll tape. Check this out and then give me your thoughts.
Tell them pull up. Whoever want to, like, while y'all bullshitting.
First, let me give you the context. So I don't know what happened before this video, but what was written about it is that the father caught his son flashing guns and weed online. So then he confronts his son, and then apparently the people, he goes live wherever, I'm not sure where what social media platform, he goes live. And then people on the live are saying things like, don't do that to him, and we're going to do whatever we're going to do. And so the father starts reacting to it. So just to give you some context, check this out.
Pull y'all tough ass up. I guarantee you I would beat the shit out of every one of y'all. Pull up. I'm on it.
What's that Dennis McShare in here?
Do it. Just for that. Now, come help. Come help. Man, quit playing with me. Come help him. These type of kids gonna get you fucked up. That's what I'm saying. These your friends though. Your friend gonna get your ass beat. If you ever in your fucking life listen to one of them and raise your hand at me, bitch, I will bury you. And bury they dust asses too. Don't fucking play with me, David. This type of shit I'm talking about. These little boys, these little girls gonna get the shit beat out you, boy. Play with me if you want to. You better choose your motherfucking friends wisely. Because right now, you bullshit, nigga. Better tell them your dad is not the nigga to play with. I will bury them fucking bitches. I don't care about killing no fucking kids. You better tell them. Before they kill you or before they hurt you, I'll do it. I'm gonna tell them folks quit motherfucking playing. This shit ain't no motherfucking joke. Fuck wrong with y'all kids. Don't get mad because y'all dust ass parents don't love y'all like I love mine. Now what? Y'all know where he at. Pull up.
So that's the gist of the video right there. And give me your thoughts on it. Shelly Shells writes, we cannot judge the situation from the video. I can say the dad went too far because I don't know what the child has been doing. I can only imagine what the child's parents are dealing with, drugs and guns. I want to say I would do the same. Yeah, that slap though, that slap was all about some old bravado type stuff. You slapped the boy in the mouth because some people were saying something on social media. So you slap your son on the face? No, I can see it. I mean, there comes a time when maybe your son, he getting taller, he taller than you, he got muscles, and now he want to challenge you. You got to let him know. I get that. But you slap your boy across the face because somebody on the live said something? Did your parents ever slap you across the mouth? Did it work? Irish writes, that father is mad, hurt, and afraid for his son. I agree with that. And I remember Medium Buddha did some dumb stuff once. I was mad, hurt, and afraid for her. She did something that was dangerous. I was madder than a hornet's nest. I was as mad at her. And I wasn't just mad, I was hurt and I was scared. As a parent, all parents know that. That's the worst feeling when you're mad, hurt, and scared at the same time because of what you see, the direction you see your kids going in or something they did. You're mad, hurt, and scared. Well, for me, I just got to step away. I can't punish you right now. I can't give you the punishment right now. I gotta simmer down. I gotta cool off so I can separate my feelings. And when I get to the discipline part, then I know exactly why I'm disciplining you. Parents ain't always right. Parents ain't always right. Parents are humans too. We make mistakes. And sometimes parents make mistakes because they react on their first feelings. They do something to their kid, then later on they're like, damn, I did that because it reminds me of me, or I did that because of something that wasn't 100% about them. That happens. Kelly writes, I respect and understand Dante's passion. Same here. And they say kids these days are different. Absolutely. They are different. Donnie writes, I think he did this in part for the gram. That's the other thing. Going on social media. Is there a time and a place for that? Yeah, I can see a scenario in which your kid do something on the gram and you go right back on their Facebook page and let them know. I can see that. I can see that. It's like, oh, you think I won't? Let me show you. You want to be embarrassed? I'm going to embarrass you all the way out. I can see that, but you smacking him? Calling him? Why is he a B? I can't see a scenario in which I'm going to call my son a B. Why is that a part of the equation? And the other thing about this, if your child is a minor and social media is a problem, then make sure they get off social media until they become adults. My daughter wants to be on social media so bad. We've had big old conversation about it. Nothing more than that, because that's what the law is. She can't get on social media. All this little stuff, I ain't got to deal with none of that because she ain't on there. She don't need to be on there. She's a student athlete. When she gets 18, then she can make that decision. Until then, I make the decisions. I made the decision. You don't need to be on social media for what? You ain't got no business. That was my challenge for her. You want to get on TikTok? Sure. Start a business and use TikTok to promote it. You want to get on a gram? Sure. Start a business and use the gram to promote it. Now you got a reason to be on there. I mean, you got all the power. Use it. Angela writes, it appears that he's talking his anger at the commentator out on his son. Right. Right. That's what I picked up on too, Angela. It's kind of like he's mad at the people that's talking ish to him. So you take it on your son. Like, wait a minute. I'm not going to beat up my son to show somebody on the gram something. I'm not doing that. I'm not going to smack my son because somebody on the gram said something to me. You're getting too personally involved, Dad. So I think what makes this an interesting topic for me is that there's multiple ways of looking at it. Like as a parent who grew up, I'm a child of the 70s. I grew up old school, man. I already know this ain't nothing. I grew up old school. So I get it. It don't mean that dad was 100% right. It also don't mean that he's 100% wrong. Billy writes, yeah, I did get a slap and it did work. From them on, when she said shut up, I did. Is that right? Yeah. I mean, I think Sherman mom got me once. I don't remember. I can't recall it. I think so. Shelly Shell writes, I got paddled in front of my class, Zion Temple Christian Academy. And my mommy spanked me in front of class too. Yeah, that was that. Oh, I'm gonna come to the school and whoop you in the school. That's that old school right there, boy. I know raising kids in this day and age is extremely tough. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. But people keep acting like social media should never be as big of an influence as mom and dad in the house. It depends on what you're doing in the house. Just because you live in the house don't mean you setting a great example. I'm not saying anything about this gentleman right here because I don't know. But I'm just saying you got some parents that's in the house, but they ain't really in the house. You got some parents that's in the house, but they're not setting a good example. People watch what you do, not what you say. Kids are the same way. You can say whatever you want to a kid, but they're going to watch what you do, how you conduct yourself, the kind of person that you are. And then they're going to learn and grow accordingly, period. Richard writes, he need it. If he don't do it, the police will. Maybe. Linda writes, that slap barely connected. If he was trying to abuse him, he would have used a fist. Everybody always want people to do what they do. He slapped him across the face, Linda. Good morning to you. Jerica writes, do fathers physically discipline their daughters? I had to physically discipline Medium Buddha one time, and it broke my heart, but she had to have it. She had to have it. For the most part, I let my wife deal with that. And it's the same thing with the son. Mother's going to do what they do. But more than likely, I haven't really had to physically punish my son yet. I can see it coming, though. You know what I'm saying? Like give him a spanking or something like that. But if it happens, it's going to happen from me. Unless he's with his mama. Because black mothers don't play. Sandra writes, dad treating him like a thug on the streets because his son is acting like a thug on these streets. I get it. Dante says something different. Trinika writes, how they different? I'm sorry, Trey writes, how they different? Terrace writes, that's when you punch him in the chest, but that's his child. Daniela writes, I also don't think challenging random strangers on social media to pull up is wise. Nowadays, these kids and adults will pull up and shoot. Yes, they will. Angela writes, because dad is emotionally immature. Ooh, she said, you getting deep with this. Are we looking at emotional immaturity in this father? Huh. Interesting. I mean, just in some of the language, like I said, grown-ups are usually, products of the environment that they grew up in. So he probably grew up watching his father or people around him talk and be in the environment like that. So that's what he has to give. And then some people who are not emotionally mature, when they get disappointed or hurt, they always react with violence. Maybe that's what we're looking at. Jasmine writes, are we able to express our love for our children in other ways than just rage? Yeah, good question. Are we able to show our when your kids scare you and you're painful and or you're in pain or you're really, really scared or you really, really hurt? What do you show then too? Some people act like just because your kids do something and it makes you angry, scared, and mad at the same time, then that validates whatever you do. Hmm. Edward writes, the dad should not be talking about killing someone, right? That's not smart. Iris agrees with Angela. But that's what I'm saying. Like, you get mad. It's like what you do when you're mad and unhappy and not, that says a whole lot, I think. Everybody different, though. Everybody different. Nate, there are a lot of apps that children use to have social media accounts and hide them from their parents, and you don't need an app to be on social media. You're right. Our daughter's not on social media, but her friends who are send her stuff via text and things like that. But she doesn't have. You're right. You're right about that. You're absolutely right. Timothy writes, I challenge people to look what's going on outside of your world. Falase writes, I love that idea. I love that idea, Nate. My 18-year-old daughter is so responsible. With that 14-year-old daughter, oh Lord, I am taking all prayers. Ooh, them second kids, man. Ooh, second born, third born. Oh boy. Why is he a B? Because his boys or friends say you ain't a man till you put a body on you. Is that right? Jasmine writes, if for generations we've been beating our kids to a pulp and the decision making isn't getting better, are we open to new strategies? The other thing you got to understand is that kids are kids. The human brain does not develop until 25. So even if you're trying to put some common sense in a person that's 17 or 16, even 18, it's just not going to come out with logic all the time. Young people are they're going to do dumb stuff. I expect it. I expect for my kid to do dumb stuff. I expect for them both to do dumb stuff. I already know. I hope it's not something that's dangerous and put their life or somebody else's life on jeopardy. I'm not worried about my kids embarrassing me because they're kids. You know what I'm saying? I ain't really worried about all of that. Janine writes, I used to get paddlings in school for fighting. Yeah, I'm not with the corporal punishment in the schools anymore because there's bias. There's racial bias. There's gender bias. I ain't with that. I got paddled by Mr. Bradshaw. I used to love him. He was my favorite teacher. After he paddled me, I thought it was unfair. We fell out. I had to lead it. I couldn't wait to lead the classroom. It was never the same. I didn't look at him the same. It was never the same relationship. I didn't feel the same way about him. But as I've said before, as a kid, I had a very strong sense of what was right and what was wrong. And I knew when adults was dealing with me the right way or when they was dealing with me the wrong way. And if I was around an adult and I felt like they was dealing with me the wrong way, we fell out. We fell out. I could not, I couldn't mess with you. That was part of the reason why I dropped out of school in the 10th grade. I was a black kid from the inner city, but via the Section 8 program, I'm living out in Green Hills, Forest Park. Trying to keep up with the Joneses out there. Their parents had money. My mother was on Section 8. We getting free cheese and milk. You know what I'm saying? So the social atmosphere was just not good. I get to the school and I was treated like the little black boy from the city. It could be a problem. I picked up on it real quick. I said, I ain't going for this. Why go back to endure all of this? For what? Stop going. So I get it. Linda writes, social media amplifies things. See. Says Iris writes, not true. Is that this case for this family? Danita writes, I was grown. One day, Billy and I were at my mom's, and I swear I wasn't yelling. I was just passionate about what I was saying. Mom said I was yelling at her. Billy gave me the eye like, abort, abort. I just shut up. When we got to the car, I was talking again. Right. Brent writes, Nate, just give it a few more years with your children. I already know. Like I said, I already know. I've told the wifey, get prepared. Our children are going to do everything we did and then a little bit more. That's what kids do. I'm already with the business. Prepare for the worst, expect hope for the best. That's it. Brenda writes, did the kids of the 70s listen more to their parents and the kids of today listen less to the instructions we give them? That's a good question. I would say that if you ask most people, generally speaking, they would say, yeah, kids in the 70s and 80s back in the day had less distractions and were more attentive to their parents. But what we also got to remember is that parents were different back in the day. We always talk about kids was different, but parents was different back in the day. We always want to put it on the children, but I'm going to say parents are different today. Kamikia writes, when I was a teacher, I wouldn't even call the parents again if they came to the school to whip their children. This is not an effective behavior intervention. Angela writes, most fathers only takes one time with their daughters. Well, it only took one time with Media Buddha. And I hated it too. I remember afterward, I was damn near in tears. I didn't bring a child to the world to put my hand on her. Like I said, my hands are not for God didn't give me these hands to put them on my children in that kind of way. So that's just me. Hey, Dante is in the house. He writes, great call. That's not true, Nate. It sounds good, but that's just not true. People make choices. I've always been a great example, but he did what he wanted to do. I wasn't trying to say you weren't a great example. I wasn't trying to make it personal. I was speaking in general, Dante, not just about you. I'm just wondering. I'm just saying, kids, just like humans, are going to follow what they see. They're going to follow how you conduct yourself in the house with your husband, with your wife, when you're on your phone, when you're upset, the way you conduct your business, your cleanliness, your spirituality, the way you talk about other Black people, the way you talk about this, that they're watching all of that. You can say whatever you want to say. But if what you say is not consistent with what you do, it's not going to have the same impact. What you say ain't going to have no impact. Now, if what you say and what you do line up and they see that, oh, that's powerful. I bet you in a lot of homes, parents are saying one thing and then doing something different. Kids don't respect that. Wherever I acted up, there is where I got whooped. Same here. Absolutely. Angela writes, as an adult / parent, you must be wiser in your reactions. I've had to tell my daughter to go somewhere so I didn't react angrily. Yeah, we've done that. Timothy writes, can you call the cops in that situation? In this situation, Timothy? Billy writes, I don't blame dad. I don't think dad is emotionally immature. I think this whole situation may be one that saves his son's life. We all live in different spaces and your reality may not be mine. Okay. A class one writes, why we got to be so abusive to our kids? Absolutely. Ashley writes, good morning, Nathan and the Chopper. Sharp writes, good morning, Nathan and the Choppers. Good morning, everybody.
Get to the chopper!
Fox writes, rise and shine, young stars. Right or wrong, he there to raise his son. Rather dad set him straight than the police. Okay, I'm with you. Moms, let the fathers raise the sons, especially when they reach that age. Men raise men. I'm with you on all of that. Just a quick sidebar. I got a chance. This is a complete departure a little bit. We only got a few minutes left here in the show, but not sometimes, but I waste my time and my money so you don't do the same. And this week on the 22nd, my daughter and I are going to go see Nope, N-O-P-E. That's that new Jordan Peele sci-fi something or other movie. We don't really know what it is because Jordan Peele, he likes to misdirect the audience. But we're super excited about it. I created and have raised my movie buddy. And it's the most beautiful thing. We share a taste in movies, sci-fi and horror. We love it. Looking forward to it. We also love the Marvel movies. And last week and a half ago, I told you my daughter and I got a chance to watch the new Thor movie, Thor: Love and Thunder. And as I told you, I like to give you a review. I'm trying my best not to spoil it. But I'll be honest with you. This new Love and Thunder, you got to see it for yourself and tell me what you think. But this is not on my top 10 list or my all-time greatest list of Marvel movies. It's okay. It's okay. If I was rating it like on a scale from 1 to 10, I'd give it a solid 7. I give it a solid 7. In terms of the new phase of the Marvel movies, it's probably the least. It's not as good as Shang-Chi to me. It's not as good as Doctor Strange to me. But again, if you like these kind of Marvel movies, you're going to get something out of it. It's worth your time. If you really don't like these kind of Marvel movies, it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say. But I'll give it a solid 7. Have you seen it? How would you rate it? Again, I waste my time and money, so you don't. So you don't. So there it is. I give it a solid 7. Is it worth your time? Well, if you're into the Marvel movies and you got to watch all of them, yeah, sure. If you're not so into the Marvel movies, if your favorite Marvel movie was like Avengers Endgame because of all the action, this is not as action packed. There are some interesting revelations in it, but it was mid to me. I'll be honest with you. It was mid to me. Back to the flows. Angela writes, is beating, slapping, yelling ultimately effective? What say the pediatrician, child psychologist, and social worker? Mm-hmm. Yep. Tracy writes, this is an excellent point. Excellent point. She writes, he doesn't want his kid flexing for the gram, but he will as a parent. Gotcha. Right. Right. Again, I ain't trying to come super down hard on this black man. It's a conversation piece. Each one teach one, do what you got to do. But that's an excellent point right there. That's a good point. Don't be on the gram doing all this crazy stuff, and then you get on the gram and start doing crazy stuff. Timothy writes, social media is raising children. Yeah. With the parents who allow their kids to be on social media, your kids don't have to be on social media. For what? There's no good. They don't have to be that. They want it. They all want it. They all ask for it, but they don't have to. They can live a perfectly good life. And now we got one of these little, these little stealth sort of trackers so we can get on her phone and all that kind of stuff. So she got us a few times where we just randomly checked her phone. We just sitting there. My wife has got that special sixth sense. We'll be sitting there chilling. It's happened a couple times. She's like, look, let me see your phone. And my daughter would start yabba dabba doing abada. It's in my room. Let me go get it. She go in her room. She in her room for 10 minutes. Like, girl, bring me that phone right now. We get the phone and she on social media. Like, how you on social media and we didn't say you could be on social media? This is our phone. Well, I did it anyway. Of course that's going to happen. I expected all of that. So do I get so upset with her? No, because that's what kids are going to do. Am I upset? Yeah, I'm not happy because you lying to us. You're doing somebody, but she's 14. She's 13. Of course she's going to do that. But now that we got that little stealth tracker on there, we know every app that gets on there, we already know. Text messages, we already know. We just act like we don't. We already know everything. That's our phone. Jerica writes, the dad's actions, although abusive, is clearly driven out of fear. Yeah. Daniela writes, I'm more bothered by the father's verbal abuse than a slap that barely connected. Words matter. Calling his son less than what he is can have lasting mental and emotional consequences. When I was telling my son about his behavior, I remind him of how fabulous he is and why I'm disappointed in him because I know he can do better. I can't fathom calling him a BI, right? Yeah, I thought that was a little rough. Jericho writes, P-Valley watches here. I have not got into it. I know everybody's talking about it. I have yet to watch an episode. I didn't even know what it was about until like a month or two ago. I'm like, what's the P stand for? Somebody's like, Ussy. I'm like, huh? Why am I not watching this? Yeah, the heterosexual black man is right in my alley. But no, I haven't watched it at all. Tyree writes, Love and Thunder was good. Okay, we each one. What would you rate? I would say solid 7. I'll give it a solid 7. No more. No more. Sean writes, Love and Thunder was trash. See, I can see that. It ain't like that Avengers Endgame. Universally, everybody gonna get at a solid 9 and a 9.5, if not higher. First Black Panther, everybody gonna get at a solid like 9, 9.5, if not higher. Hope they don't mess up the second one. Seeing some things I ain't happy with. Tyree writes 8.5 out of 10. Okay. Nate, will you give Thor your money when the next one comes out with the next movie? Probably so, because it's something I do with my daughter, and I'm an old school Marvel comic book collector, and I was into Marvel before everybody else got into Marvel, before it became mainstream. So I'm really connected to some of these stories, and I like to see what they're doing with it. And with sci-fi and horror, I have wasted so much of my money over the years just because I wanted to see the latest iteration, where the genre was going. So yes, having said all of that about Thor: Love and Thunder, I'll probably go see the next one as well. More than likely, we'll see. The issue is whether I'll pay for it. So now I got this Fire Stick joint, and I love it. So I pay one flat fee. I get all kinds of stuff, man, including some of these first run movies. So that's the determination. I'll see it, but will I pay to see it? But Medium Buddha and we love to go just sit in the theater, and you know what you do. You got your little movie buddy. So I don't want to break that. That's our little thing. Good morning, everybody. Listen, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. We kicked off the show talking about my sadness and new black media. And, Roland Martin responded to one of my tweets. I would love to see these brothers come together. I don't understand all the bickering and the fighting. It's just, I'll say it again. Black people are so easily divided, and it's so sad. It really, really is. I'm for reparations, but, some of these groups, they just seem like QAnon dipped in chocolate. And I'm like, what's the point of all of this? And if for the folks that's, again, is any pro FBA people in here? If you FBA, Foundational Black American, or ADOS, and you all about reparations, then the question is, what are you building? Are you building a grassroots movement, a local movement, a statewide movement that would support and push that? Look at what the Republicans did when it came to Roe v. Wade. That was 3-4 decades in the making, right? I'm sure people said it would be impossible. But with organization and staying with a laser focus on your goal, I think you get a lot of good people together. You can move mountains. But I hear a lot of belly aching, a lot of complaining, and not enough like building the structure to support the ideas. But that's just me. I would hope these guys could come together. That'd be powerful, man. If like Roland Martin and Tariq Nasheed and all these brothers came together and did something together, that would be powerful. That would be powerful. But they got these little petty differences back and forth. It's just really, really sad, man. And I'll continue sort of my focus on, this new media phenomenon, because that's a space that I'm in. I care about it. I know a lot about it. And I think it's very interesting. I mean, I think there's a lot of powerful voices out there. And as I said, I think that's a great thing. More the merrier. But it's really, really sad. So I reached out to Roland and was like, come on, man, divide and conquer is undefeated. Y'all bickering about the Democrat Party and bickering about this, that, and the other, but y'all got a lot more in common than you don't. But he didn't really want to hear that. It's sad, but I'll keep my eyes on it. Listen, folks, have an excellent Monday. For all the people out there, all the creators out there, all the hustlers out there, I hope you fail this week over and over again, because success is paved with a road of failure. You got to fail over and over again. If you look at some of the wealthiest people, some of these big time entrepreneurs, they have failed multiple times before they got it right. So I hope you go out and fail this week. I hope you go out and step outside your comfort zone this week. Do something different. Challenge yourself. And remember, winners focus on winning. And losers focus on winners. So stay focused and stay winning. And we'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm Nate Ivy, and I'm out.
Yeah. Talking to my mirror like I love you so much. Curving on my critics like I heard you, so what? You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. Tally all the I ever gave on my head. Lately I've been living like I can't take a loss. They ain't wanna help me, that's what made me a boss. You can't kill my confidence, I think I'm the man. We don't give a that's what they don't understand. I'm back again like